Today is the day that we are going to make enemy pie. Now I'm calling it enemy pie because in my head I'm thinking I want to make some body parts, maybe some hands or two-dimensional obviously, or an arm, maybe some bones, something, right? Something body part like. And I'm going to fill it with apple pie filling, but I have turned that apple pie filling red so it looks like blood and guts that you're going to eat. I just think it's going to be the coolest thing ever. So here we go, make some enemy pie. Now the first step to making these pies is to make either a pie crust or a puff pastry. Here I made a puff pastry, a very simple, no fail, works out every time. The link for it will be down below in the description. Once the dough has pulled away from the sides of the food processor, you are going to dump the dough onto a floured surface and knead for 5 to 10 minutes. You are then going to shape it into a square, rectangle-ish shape and roll it out to be about a 1/2 inch thick. This recipe does make 2 pie crusts, so if it were a traditional pie, one for the top and one for the bottom. At this point, you are going to take the ends of your dough and fold them in on each other into thirds. So I went ahead and cut this in half, and I am going to put it in the fridge separately as individual pie crusts. This is the puff pastry that we made yesterday. It has been sitting in the fridge, I don't know, 20-something hours, something like that. So we're going to go ahead and cut into this. We're going to divide it into half and then roll it out. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to keep it as small as possible on my cutting board that I'm using so that I do not waste so much. I don't know how this is going to go as I've never cut out body parts before. This is just all-purpose flour I'm laying on the cutting board. Now that your dough is really cold, it is going to be a little bit difficult to roll out flat. I do recommend letting it sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes before you start rolling it out. It will make it a little bit easier to manage. Now I am taking my pie filling and I am filling up this little hand. In retrospect, it would have been cooler had I been able to put it in the fingers, but the palm is full of the apple pie filling. And look how awesome that looks. Alright, I got this giant can here because I need a really large circle to cut out of the puff pastry. Because I chose such a big muffin pan, this is like an extra large muffin pan. It's not your standard size muffin or cupcake pan. The cutouts were not quite big enough, but I was able to use the extra dough to fill it in and make the bottom layer of the pies. Now over the top, I'm just using strips and placing it how I see fit. Doesn't have to be perfect here. And off to the oven it goes. 375 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. Oh, look at that hand. Golden brown, ooey and gooey. Tell me that's not cool. It is. It's a hand pie. Hand pie. Right hand. 'Tis the right hand. That actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna take the pinky. I took the pinky. Well, obviously, I just ate, I don't know, breadstick of puff pastry because there's no filling in the fingers. All the filling's in the palm here. Oh, hot. We need some icing drizzle. Mmm. Mmm. Well, it wasn't as oozy as I thought it would be. It all oozed in the oven as it was cooking. Oh, that was a good hand. My enemies taste so good. Down below in the description there will be a link to both the puff pastry and for the apple pie filling that I made for these enemy pies and hand pies. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and if you're not already, consider subscribing to Hollow Acres. Now go make some enemy pie.